what I've put on screen here is a selection of different examples of the likelihood axis. So something I'll mention here, which I touched on briefly before, we'll just get our definitions right at this point. So when we're talking about frequency, probability, and likelihood, so frequency is generally expressed as a numerical value of the number of times per year. So if you look at the pink table there, you'll see that this can look like greater than 1 per year at the bottom, or we've got less than once per million years in the top right. The numbers are also given in scientific notation, as you can see in the frequency range there. So some people might be more familiar with them, depending what they're doing. So as I say, that these are frequencies. Likelihood is usually expressed in words. So this is things like likely, very likely, rare. So you see that the matrix on the left-hand side, or the axis of the matrix on the left-hand side, has some of these words. So they can be termed likelihoods. Probability, you're not going to see that as often in a risk matrix, but just for completeness, probability is a value between 0 and 1. So a good example is a coin toss. So if you toss a coin, we would say the probability of heads would be 0.5, and the probability would never be more than 1 and never would be less than 0. Okay, so we can see from these examples there's a blend of qualitative scales, and by qualitative we mean that no number is given and language is used, and there's some semi-quantitative scales. So this is where a range or a band of numbers is quoted. The reason we would say semi-quantitative is that we're not assigning an exact number to a frequency, we're saying the frequency is within a band. So for example, that pink table again, you can see that unlikely has a 10 to the minus 4 to 10 to the minus 2. So that's a band, that's semi-quantitative. It's for that reason that if you talk about the risk assessment matrix, you'll hear people calling it a semi-quantitative tool.